Well, hi everybody, Jim McGuigan here. If in fact you're back watching yet another one of my videos, thank you so much. It means a great deal to me. Um, I'm really super happy today, not just because it's Friday, but I was going to wait until Saturday, tomorrow, today's Friday, to weigh myself just to see, I got my new fancy schmancy scale like a week ago, and if you watched the video when that happened, you're aware that I was surprised to see that I weighed 261.2 pounds. Now, that was a lot. That was a lot more than I thought. And needless to say, I was, very surprised. Anyway, so sticking with the program, especially my diet, 3 meals a day, snacks in between, keeping it at 2,300 calories, that's doable. I was eating 3,500, stuffing it in. I didn't measure it, but that's about what I was eating, before I started thinking and realizing just how I was packing on the weight. So taking it down to 2,300, at first I thought, and I had mentioned this, I thought, wow, but the whole philosophy behind a diet, my program, is that you don't want it to be work. You don't want it to be a terrible thing. You want to eat what you want. You still want to have satisfying meals. You've just got to make sure, like we've talked about, that you're eating correctly, you're eating better, a well-balanced kind of a diet. I'm keeping it at 2,300 a day, and I don't know if you can hear that, but of course the fire whistle would go off in the middle of my taping, and I have yet to figure out how to edit this thing so I could edit something like that out. But so anyway, whoever that whistle's for, I hope all is well. Anyway, so I'm glad to report that I've gone from 261.2 pounds down to 257.6 pounds. Now, that's roughly, 3.6 pounds. I'm going to say 4 pounds. I have lost roughly 4 pounds since last week. Now that is encouraging. It's awesome. I'm all for it, and I'm very happy for it. I can't tell you that I do feel better. I feel great. I'm sleeping better. I'm moving better. I'm feeling better. My clothes are still, a little bit on the tight side, and this weekend I've got to buy. And this video is going to be about some a school thing. We're starting. Teachers go back next week. I'm going to need some clothes that fit, so I've got to buy some clothes at my present weight dimensions, let's put it that way, and that's all right. It really is okay. But anyway, I've lost roughly, nearly 4 pounds, and I'm really, really, really happy about that. And so I'm going to keep that up, keep eating, my food, what I like, and going strong with it. And any of you who are on your own programs, I wish you all keep going. That's all you got to do. Keep going. Don't stop. Keep forging ahead. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get down. I'm going to lose this. It's going to take a while. But anything worth doing is worth doing well. I said that before. So, good things. Sometimes it takes a while to get where you want to be. So, and that's okay. And it's a lifestyle choice anyway. So eating better is just, in the long run, is going to be better for me forever. So that's it. Anyway, so what I want to move on to, where are we at? We're at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm going to try to keep it at 15 or under 15 minutes. Now, in my neck of the woods here in Delaware, in Smyrna, Delaware, school begins next week. Now, not for the kids. The teachers go back next week. We return to our classrooms on Tuesday, the 21st. And you know, I like that because ever since I can remember, I've hated Mondays. So starting on a Tuesday, I don't know, it just makes it better. Makes it better for me. Why are they starting on a Tuesday? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I like it. So teachers go back next week. The kids come back the week after. So teachers' summer is over. Now across the nation, some schools have already started. Some schools won't begin until after Labor Day. In my day, that's how it was, Labor Day was the mark of school beginning. And of course, you young ones, I don't know if you'll remember it or not, but the Jerry Lewis Telethon, when that was advertised and when that was coming on, school was right around the corner. And the weekend of was the Labor Day, Jerry Lewis Labor Day Telethon for muscular dystrophy. It was awesome. But anyway, so we go back next week. And this video, again, is for my beloved newbies. Today I want to talk to you about your classroom. So many of you, and not just the newbies, a lot of teachers have already been in school, getting their classrooms ready to go. Because, you see memes about it, jokes about it all the time, about teachers not being given enough time by administration or by the district to, not given enough time to get their rooms together. Getting your classroom together is of vital importance, but the joke is that, they just never give you enough time for that, and whatever, we make time, we do what we always do. Teachers aren't paid overtime. If our work day goes from 8:15 to 3:45, that's just what it says on paper. The school day begins at 7 a.m. and it doesn't end till roughly 5 o'clock, and sometimes later. You take a break, you go get something to eat, and you come right back to it. And that's every day of the week. And for the most part, it includes weekends. Now, I have a luxury of being able to go into my classroom on the weekend if I so choose, because I also have the luxury of living right next door to my school. But if, teachers are working from 7 until 5, if they don't get things done, or if they, grading or lesson planning or new lessons, putting together this, that, and the other, then we bring it home. So the weekend is filled with getting ready for the next week. And that's pretty much how it is. Anyway, so next week we begin, but, it's going to be meetings. They're going to give us some time to be in our classrooms. But a lot of us have already been there. I was over there today and scoping out my classroom, just to make sure everything was where it is so that I can, get ready to get my classroom going. But newbies, I want to talk to you about your classroom. Your classroom atmosphere. What your classroom is about. Now, when I started out, as a fledgling teacher, my classroom was a teacher's classroom. I had things on the walls that had to do with the subjects that I taught. For about 15, 16 years, I was a self-contained teacher, which means I had my class all day. I didn't switch. And I taught all the subjects, everything. And so I had, a section on my wall with math. I had a section for social studies. I had a section for science and a section for ELA, English, language arts, writing, everything. And so that I figured as a teacher, there will be reminders, how to add, how to subtract, how to multiply, how to divide, who Magellan was, who of the 3 branches of government, what a noun is, what a verb is, and so forth. And I thought that was cool, and it looked really awesome. But what I realized, and you'll come into your own too, that even though that was my classroom and it was great, and it was full of teacher stuff, it really wasn't me. It took me a few years till I really, found my style. And as a teacher, you're going to have to find your style in a lot of ways. Your style as a teacher with your students, your style with classroom management, your atmosphere in your classroom, and classroom management. Classroom management comes first. Those are the two most important things, believe it or not. Curriculum isn't. What you're teaching them isn't the curriculum, I mean. Classroom management and your atmosphere. That's what's important. Anyway, so after a few years, I started to realize I want this classroom to be, it kind of evolved into a bit more me. It was less and less skills, math skills and social studies and things like that. It became more of, core values, trustworthiness, honesty, integrity, responsibility. It became things like this. Who are you as a person? The things that meant the most to me, my classroom became a kind of the atmosphere was saturated in that, not so much on the walls. What started to begin, and I guess over the last, 10 years maybe, 10 years, something like that. My classroom has become an extension of me. It's like a home away from home. And I guess that's what I want to say on this video to you newbies. Of course, anything I say on here you can take with a grain of salt. You can you can Google surveys to find out. You'll have administrators, you'll have administration, you'll have others giving you their food for thought. And some will say, you don't want to have a whole lot of clutter on the walls because it's distracting. Then some will say you want to have your room saturated with, facts and figures and this, that, and the other. That way kids know where to look to, give them a reminder of whatever. The fact of the matter is, listen to the old dogs. Listen to what we have to say. And I say that, don't just listen to me, listen to other old dogs out there. We've been through it. We've made enough mistakes to where we know what works and what doesn't. And what works for me may not necessarily work for you. That's not, you've got to find your own way. But what I want to tell you about your classroom is you have to make it your own. You have to feel that your classroom is a home away from home for you, because it is. You're going to be spending a great deal of time in your classroom, not only with your kids, but without them. And it needs to be an extension of you. My classroom is, it's all about me. It's my second home. And when my students come in, sure, I went there to be a wow factor. Wow, look at Mr. Mack's classroom. My classroom looks like my home. I have, I have some posters on the walls, but I have framed paintings and pictures. I have sculpture. I have artwork that I've done and others have done. I have curtains at my windows. I have things situated so that it feels cozy and it feels comfortable. So when my kids come in, they have that wow factor, but then they realize that this awesome place is their classroom. This is where they're going to spend the next 9 months. Now, to a kid, that's forever. When they're spending 9 months in school, we all remember how that feels. So, make it as comfortable as you can. And as far as having a lot of stuff up, another one of these videos, I'm going to make the video in my classroom so I can show you. I got stuff everywhere. And the thing about it is you have it up, you keep it there. The only thing that really changes in my classroom as far as decorum, as far as what's up, whatever, is on the front, on the whiteboard, I have an agenda that changes every day. This is what we're doing in reading, this is what we're doing in whatever. And the date. Everything else remains the same, But it's like, again, it's like your home. You're making it homey, you're making it feel safe, and you're making it feel cozy. We've got a few lamps in there. Some of you have already done this or already thought of this kind of thing. But don't feel that you have to get into that teacher mode where you're going to have a sterile teacher's room with, you have to go out and spend tons of money on posters that, have whatever skill you're teaching or whatever subject area you're teaching. I was self-contained. Now I'm an ELA, English Language Arts and Social Studies teacher. So, but my room, even when I was self-contained, I love books. I love reading. I love a good story. I love writing. I love imagination. I love discovering new worlds in a book, about a story, talking, conversing with my students, having classroom discussions. So my room is saturated with that kind of thing. Not so much skill. You're going to see basic, big picture words in my room. Read, write, imagine, honesty, integrity. That's what you're going to see in my room, opposed to, how to do something, how to find a noun, what is a noun, and all that kind of stuff. So yes, and that's what you need to think about for your classroom. You need to put your own personal touch on it. It will make a difference. It'll make you feel better. It'll make your kids feel awesome. Plus, they'll have the best classroom in the school, and it'll make other kids jealous. But having a very personalized classroom, it says a lot about you, I think, as a teacher, that you love it enough to do that. There'll be a nice wow factor too for the parents. They'll love it too. Just the general feel, you don't want to. We've all been in school, gone through school where you've had, you've gone into a classroom and it's really nothing. It's just, four walls, some desks and whatever, and you do, and it's nothing special. When you think back to your own school days, like me, you think back to those teachers who were just as awesome as they can be, and you're not necessarily thinking of their classroom. You're thinking of the teacher. Not specifically anything, just how they made you feel, the awesomeness about that particular teacher. You look forward to going there. Part of it was not just, the biggest part was the teacher, whoever it was. And that's kind of what you want to hope for as a teacher. You want your kids to feel that attachment with you. You don't want to be one of those teachers that are hated, or one of those teachers who are easily forgotten. I certainly don't. And I know you don't either. But, think back to those boring times when you just couldn't wait to get out of that classroom. It probably was the teacher, but it was also the environment, the atmosphere. I want ambiance in my classroom. I want my kids to sit there feeling comfortable, like they're in their second home, like it's comfortable, because they're going to go through. We gotta get these kids jumping through a lot of hoops. Especially when it comes to as we march towards spring and the whole testing thing, So, yeah. So when you go into your classrooms, think about who you are. Think about who you are as a person. Think about who you want to be as a teacher. You're a newbie, whether you're first, second, or third year. You're still kind of feeling it out. Things that didn't work last year may work this year. Whatever. You just got to find your style. Some of us, it's natural. It just kind of comes out. Been honored to. I work with quite a few who are just natural teachers. I like to feel that I am. It was just something that I discovered that I do, and I do. I think because I love it so much and I love the kids so much, and you'll find it too. You'll find it. You got to find your way. But get that classroom, get it done right, get it done the way you want it. Make it an easy place to be. That's what you got to strive for. Well, that's all. Where am I at? 19. Well, I tried to keep it at 15. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I wish you all the best, all of you. Newbies out there, all teachers, anybody who's watching this, I do wish you the best. And children, teachers have children too, gone to school. I wish them the best as well. Have a great weekend. It's Friday, and enjoy yourselves, because the whole thing begins again in just a few days. So my best to everyone. Take care. Have a great night. Be safe. Bye-bye.